Orange is probably the worst color that
guess what my
exists.
rapper name was, what would you guess it was? Do you know what my middle name is?
Hezekiah?
No,
William?
it's Joshua.
Joshua?
Yeah.
I was taking
So
a guess.
that may help you with the name for my rapper name.
No.
No.
Well, my initials are DJ.
Right. DJ Rudd.
That's.
Let's get ruddy to party.
Oh, I like that though. No, it's DJ Dungmaster. So you wouldn't have guessed that, would
Nope,
you?
Would not have.
No.
DJ Dung Master?
Yeah.
Welcome to the Gathering Greenhouse, a podcast to help us grow together.
I thought we were doing it all together this time.
Oh, ready?
They were all together.
All together.
All together.
All together.
All right, I'm Steve,
Hi, Steve.
and that's David.
I'm yeah.
DJ Rudd.
DJ Rudd. DJ.
You could go like MC DJ.
MC
I think I
DJ,
do that
that's actually
sometimes.
kind
Yeah, MC DJ.
Yeah,
Yeah.
could work.
I'm John. We never get to me, but it's cool.
Right. Yeah.
So,
Do you think Will Smith ever looks back on his days as like a happy rapper
I
and
don't.
wishes he had just stayed there?
I think.
I mean, you listen to his early stuff. It's just so full of joy and.
Because I would say, I every time I see something from him, he does not look happy like these days.
Oh man.
He
I
just
think it
looks
was probably all fake back then. I don't think
It was him.
I don't think so. I think when he was in West Philadelphia, or was he in
Is
East
that where he
Philadelphia? Born and raised
He was born in West Philadelphia.
West. Yeah,
It's West, yeah.
I think when he was there, he was like.
But is he actually from Philadelphia? Like that's based on a true story?
I think so. Like I think like him and his like DJ
Between
Jazzy
Google.
Jeff, right? In the Fresh Prince. That was
I don't know.
before the Fresh Prince of Bel Air. There was DJ Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince.
Uh-huh.
So, I miss those days
Okay.
and the Independence
Well,
Day.
I don't think they're coming back.
That was a
we've,
good movie.
We've moved past that. Yeah, Independence Day was a good movie.
He should have just stopped there, like been like, okay, I'm
And
out.
then he made the Wild West.
Not great, not great. So
I feel like I just heard a conversation about someone saying that was his best movie ever.
They were lying.
Wild Wild West.
Yeah, but I don't remember what the
Men in
context
Black,
was.
is that a good one?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Men in Black is a good movie. Actually, I mean, is it a trilogy?
It's at least two.
Men in Black? There's 4,
What?
But with him, I think there's only 3.
maybe.
Is that right?
Actually 4 of those movies.
They just made a new one recently, like not too long ago.
Okay.
Yeah, there's definitely 3. Because I've watched all.
Well, the last one is like the origin story of Kay, right?
Oh, maybe.
I think, yeah.
We have a lot that we're talking about. We have no idea. We don't have any details.
No, this is a bad podcast.
You say that a lot. Okay, so let me make it a good podcast. I'm just going to jump right
podcast
into
is
Here we
this.
go.
Podcast.
It's about to get better.
So this all started, as you can kind of see here, my plate full of cookies. This all started when David had an idea that what if you took,
Why didn't you do the reverse?
I did, but people ate them. I gave one to Jalen, and Ron stole one off my plate, and I gave one to,
I had one.
yeah.
It was good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did
right.
do the reverse.
I didn't get one.
I didn't get one either,
These
but I
look
have
really
I
good.
have
I'm
plenty
super
more.
excited about
I have
this.
plenty more. So anyway, the idea came up. What if you took a Nutter Butter?
Well, no. Wait.
Okay, you
It just
explain
started
that.
with we were just kind of talking
Yeah.
about whether or not Oreos has peanut butter. Like,
Right.
Is there any Oreo that has a peanut butter connection?
So like either peanut butter in the filling or peanut butter cracker.
Right.
Cookie.
And we were talking about
Like
what
this
if you did the peanut butter, the wafer part, and then you had the idea. Then you
to put the Nutter Butter cookie with the Oreo
Yeah.
frosting.
that might be the best idea you've ever had, Steve.
We will. It's to be determined. It actually has not been tried yet. This will be the first time.
I'm
There was
very
no.
excited about this.
And
So, oh no, we just
What
did
did you
this
lose?
like old school communion.
we did.
So, like,
I will be eating this off the floor.
were you ever at a
5-second
church where
rule.
the deacons passed out the communion?
like handed it to.
Like they did like the offering plates.
Yes.
So
yeah, right.
in my church, the way it worked was the deacons passed it out, but the deacons had to be given the stuff by an associate pastor.
Yeah.
But the associate pastor had to be given it by the senior pastor.
Yeah.
And so like the senior pastor would hand it to these.
Where's that in the Bible? I'm not sure.
I don't know, but I mean, I was a part of it for a long time.
Yeah.
And I always thought
Baptist
this just feels
ridiculousness.
really kind of Catholic almost.
Yeah.
Where we got to go through our mediator to get our communion.
It does. So I think the key to this, it's
excited
also
about
very
this.
fresh. I just opened these packages.
Yeah.
So to me, an Oreo that the cookie is stale on it is like goes from one of like the best things you've ever had, a fresh Oreo, to one of the worst things. Like it is not good stale. So also this is
You know it is good stale?
He's going to say circus
circus
peanuts.
peanuts. So this is actually
Here we go again.
So this is we try to look for is triple stuff exists. I don't think
I thought it did, but maybe
So
you're
this
right
is
that it's
mega stuff. So
mega
triple stuff exists. What's the difference between triple stuff and mega stuff, though? Because
Spelled
all I
different.
could find.
They're both equally bad.
Okay.
Whoa.
Equally as much,
Whoa,
or
hot-
like not
hot
good.
takes from the
You're saying it's
switchboard.
not good. You don't like the Oreo.
You know,
I just like a regular amount.
Classic. You just want the regular. You like the cookie a
I don't
lot.
want to be doing too much with my Oreos.
that's just
Wow.
wow.
Controversial statement.
Blasphemy.
Not sure about
I
this.
think we,
Controversial.
we
But
might need
this
to get
is,
baptized again.
Essentially, it's filled with double mega stuff. So this is two
So like
Oreo
you
fillings.
got a mega stuff,
Mega stuff,
and a
mega stuff.
I lost one when I dropped my cookies.
So you just have a
Just
single
a
So you're just a single mega stuff. All right, are
All
we
right,
gonna eat
yes,
them?
give it a try.
All right. Oh yeah.
It's great.
Best thing we've ever had on the podcast.
Okay,
I
but
actually think I'd like the other way better.
what's the other way? Oh, the
Nutter butter cream and the chocolate cookie.
chocolate.
I had one of
better?
those
Is it
before
better?
staff meeting, but you know I'm not like the end all be all in taste buds. So, but this
You can
is
taste it.
It's really good.
this is
It
fantastic.
is. But here's a question. Would you rather eat this? This is fantastic, but would you rather have the Nutter Butter filling inside of here or the Oreo filling? Which one would you rather have?
This?
Because this.
Oh, you mean like this amount of Nutter Butter filling?
No, I'm just saying, not necessarily the amount. I'm just saying, would you rather have the Nutter Butter filling? in
no,
the
this
Nutter
is-
Butter? This
no.
is better than the Nutter Butter
Oreo
filling.
cream filling is always better.
Always better. You see what Trump said.
There's not
If they could have a layer of peanut butter
Yeah.
and add cream in with it, I think that would be
That
the
actually is
perfect
a really
cookie.
good idea. We may have to try that.
and you could add some cinnamon to it.
Oh, like on the top. Let's do it. Oh my gosh.
All right, we need
I'm still
a
leaning
venture
towards-
capitalist, Mark Cuban. Help us out, man. Shark
really
Tank
good.
us.
I still think I
I
might rather
really
have the
wish-
peanut butter in the middle, though.
You're wrong. No,
I think I might.
Don't
I mean,
listen
I
to
think
him.
It's very
If they
good.
could do it like with a swirl, that would even be better. Like a swirl through it.
just like
Peanut butter, and then there's a swirl of cream in it. I really wish Shark Tank ended where if they don't accept, like, give you an offer, you get dropped into a tank full of sharks.
Yeah.
I thought it was going to be much more dramatic of a show. But it's
Well,
just
what-
rich people giving other people money. I don't know.
Which way would you go? Would you rather have the peanut butter filling, or would you rather have the Oreo filling? Which your vote?
So here's the problem. I think if I was wanting a Nutter Butter, like there was a time where I'm like, I want that peanut butter cookie.
Yeah.
But like Oreo cream is the best thing in cookies. Like it's just amazing. So
I agree. I'm not saying that it would be bad to have this much peanut butter filling.
Yeah.
That'd be good. I mean, in the Nutter Butter itself, more filling would be good.
Which
But
the one I bought had double stuff.
There is no such thing as a better cookie filling than
And
Oreo
I think
cream.
that's the problem.
I
is
agree.
I will always say yes to an Oreo. I don't always want a Nutter Butter.
Very true.
And I think that's what it's coming down to
What
for
a
me.
fresh Nutter Butter,
It's really good.
really good.
I
Why
was getting
can't you
Nutter
get
Butters.
Nutter Butters at the Nutter Center?
What do you call the
I gotta
peanut
be
butter
honest.
ones that are like wafers? Like wafer sticks. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, they have a Nutter Butter version of that.
Vortman's.
I don't know.
The Nutter Butter exists like
I gotta
that's
tell you
kind
what,
type of
guys.
Nutter
I
Butter.
think I'm ready
You
to
can
die.
buy
I've
Nutter
seen it-
Butters
I thought they were
with
called like Nutty
wafers.
Buddies or something like that.
There's nothing
It's
better.
very-
There's like, we're never gonna be able to eat anything else again.
with that much filling.
David's gonna on his way home from work today and stop and get a package of Oreos and Nutter Butters and just.
I am.
Making
This
them
is it.
Yeah,
We've
pretty good.
we've peaked.
Jesus, you can come now.
Yeah.
There's nothing left for us to discover.
All right. Well, thank you for watching
It's a
today.
great podcast. I'm very happy with how this one went.
We are. I feel like we've given you the other than Jesus. This is the secret of life.
And speaking of amazing cookies, we will make you a batch of these cookies if you support More Than Able. Is how we're going to do this.
$1,000
The
a
more
cookie.
cream you get. Mm-hmm. Yeah. It makes to build a building.
Good job, Steve.
All right, thank
Well
you.
done.
Appreciate that.
I've been criticizing you for not having food on the podcast.
This was
Yeah,
good
you
news.
shouldn't have come swinging heavy the first time.
I know everything is going to be a letdown
Yeah.
from here on
This,
out.
yeah,
You should build
but,
up
But
this
well
one like
done today.
Christmas.
Well
Yeah.
done.
It was good.
Would you want banana on that?
So I love peanut butter and banana, so I could see that.
I could actually see like doing what we just did and like slicing a banana and putting a banana slice in there with it. I think that might actually make it better.
But would a banana? My problem with that would be like the banana's kind of slippery. I could see it just trying to slide out of the cookie.
What if
Then you
you
got a
what if
mess
you
on your
mush the
hands.
banana up with the cream?
That now
Ooh,
that
banana cream.
Banana Oreo cream. We're onto a whole new dessert now.
I don't know about that.
Like what if you did like took Oreo cream, put a banana in with it, whipped it all together, and put it on
We
Jell-O?
have an abundance of people who own bakeries at our church. We need to get on this.
Yeah.
Get on this.
What if we made a whole new like store like called Oreos on everything? And like you,
Well, there might be some copyright issues, trademark issues, but
No, I think it'll be
We just
fine.
spell it
I think
different-
Oreo
spell it
will be
differently.
totally on board for that.
Or-
Take their
EO
Or-
cream. It's EO cream.
just like or E.
Or E.
Oh.
no. I don't think that'll work.
All right. What do we got?
Okay,
today?
so we got some questions for you here.
We're so good at segues.
We are. We
You didn't finish your cookie, man.
It was a lot of filling.
He's
And
asking you a question.
I know that I'm having lunch after this.
Can I have it?
So I like to keep my sweets and savories separate. That's why
I'm not going to eat his partially eaten cookie.
I can make more.
There's a lot of illness going around.
True. So we just wrapped up. Wait, we did the last. Was it four part of More Than Able?
Nope.
No.
We did part 3 this last week.
It's weird because it's there was Vision Sunday.
Yeah, that's where I'm. Yeah.
And so this
messing
is our stewardship consultant. The way they set it up is Vision Sunday,
Yeah.
and then you have a 4-week series, and then you have Commitment Sunday.
Right.
So it's really a
up.
6-week
Okay.
series.
Okay. Yeah, that's where I'm getting lost.
So I'm just saying we're heading into week 5. We just finished week 4 of
Okay.
a 6-week series. So there's 2 weeks to go.
2 weeks, but you the 4 of the More Than Able go along with the More Than Able series that we're doing, and the other 2 don't necessarily go along with that.
Right. So the small group series is
Right.
4 weeks long. That is
weeks long.
correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. Okay. Anyway, I have a few questions along with that. So,
But, well, hold on. Before
Yeah,
you do, maybe
before
we
I
should
get
say something real quick about the small groups.
okay, yeah.
So can I do that?
Yeah.
All right. So if you're not in a small group for this series, you're missing out on a little bit extra because the small groups are studying separate passages that have similar ideas. So if you're not in a small group, you can actually do the study on your own. If you go to our YouTube channel, and you're already there if you're watching this, you can go to our playlist section and click on the More Than Able small group series, and you can watch all the small group series there. Can we put a link somewhere to the small group questions? that go
So
with
they're
that?
actually so it's on the Church Center app under resources. It's the
So
very
you can do
first thing that
everything
pops up.
there, right?
Yep. You can. Yeah. All the questions are on there. So if you go to the Church Center app and click the resource button, it's the top one.
All right, there you go. Another reason to get the Church Center app.
More Than Able questions are.
We'll
all on
also be posting the recipe for our cookies on the Church Center app.
there. Let's get step 1.
You take sugar and peanut butter and more sugar. Then you bake it, right?
That's it.
More and more.
Yeah. All right.
Okay.
Sorry,
All right, so you
Steve,
got a
back to
few
your
questions.
question.
Yeah, no, that's
Better.
good way to put that. So we have a few questions here. The first one is, if money is the root of all evil, why are we talking about it in church?
John?
But isn't it the root of all kinds of evil?
So I know this
Isn't that
isn't
the- more of a-
yes, but I think
No.
this isn't the
not all
this isn't the
evil.
question that is
That's
really
a translation
asking.
question, but there's another word that's more important than even that.
Okay.
But go on.
Well, I was just gonna say we talk about things that are evil at church. we have to.
Well, that's a good
address it.
answer.
So it's not the answer to
But
the
money
question
isn't
you're asking.
inherently evil.
No.
So actually, what the verse actually says is the love of money
Yep.
is the root of all evil or all kinds of evil. But so there's, I mean, it's one of those. It doesn't seem like a big difference to say the love of money versus money, but it matters quite a bit, right?
Yeah. Which translation are we talking about?
I think all of the
All of them,
translations,
okay.
like the ancient, the original text would say the love of money.
Okay.
Yeah.
Which is really hinting more at something that another word we use, which is greed, is, leads us to all sorts of problems when it's prevalent in our lives. If I don't, which greed is like the opposite of contentment, right? If I think I need more, I'll never be content. And then when I believe I deserve more, I'm willing often to do things to others to advance, my goal of getting more, and so it leads into all of those evils and into all those troubles when it's something that is kind of unkept in its right place in our lives.
Yeah. So my question is, this is a question, but why is money, the love of money?
Well, I think like John said, because another way to say love of money is greed.
Yeah.
Right. And I think when you talk about loving something, you're talking about elevating it. So if you elevate money above everything else, this is like what Jesus said: you can't serve two masters, right? You can either serve one or the other. You can't serve God and money. So I think it's really just saying, if you love money, then you're going to be in trouble.
Yeah. Well, so I think actually the way you said it on Sunday was really good.
Well, I spoke for 35 minutes, so we can't read
Well, no,
that.
there was really one sentence
Insert
that you
the
reversed.
sermon here.
You said it, then you reversed it. So money won't lead you to contentment.
Oh, I know.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
So you could say it better than me because I'll probably misquote
Well,
you.
so it's you'll never have enough money to be content.
Yeah.
But with contentment, you'll always have enough money.
See, I think that's a good way to
Yeah.
put it.
Yeah. Well, I was just thinking about this too. Because no one's sitting there going like, oh, I just love money. Like I need it. You love the things that money.
I've met some people. I think maybe
Scrooge
too.
McDuck just like, but often it's really rooted
Taylor
in
Swift.
a desire to have something or a sense of security.
have enough
that
money.
is- yeah, way too much money.
The Eras tour is still continuing.
Often people want to pursue money because they want a sense of security. And that's often what people are chasing. And when you are chasing that sense of security from your money, you cannot trust the Lord to be enough in that. And so I think that's part of the issue, is that it actually makes it almost impossible for you to rely upon the Lord when you have put all your eggs in the basket of having enough money. And you start worshiping that thing versus worship the thing that actually, the person who actually does provide.
Yeah. I think money is just so prevalent. It's just it's an indicator of how much you have. You have to have money to survive.
Does money lead you to discontentment?
That's a good question. So I think that circles back to the original question, right? Why talk about money in church? And I think the answer is to both of those questions. What we want to do is talk about your relationship to money.
Yeah.
Right? Because money itself doesn't lead you to be discontent. You can have a lot of money and still be content. You can have no money and still be content. In fact, that's what Paul says in Philippians 4. Right? The secret would be, I've learned how to be content whether I have a lot or whether I have a little. So the question is not whether you have a lot, is what is your relationship to your money? Right? Do I see money as a means to get what I want, or do I see money as a means to do what God wants me to do? That's the difference. So I think that's why we talk about it. We want people to have the right relationship with money.
So that's why we talk about it. Is that also an answer to the original question?
I think so. Yeah, we won't. Money. Like I think John said it. We talk about evil things. We want people to have the right relationship to a lot of things, and to entertainment, to education.
So why is it so hard to have the right relationship with money?
I think because we don't take enough time thinking about how we get our money. Is that if I can get a lot of money, I feel like that's a status symbol. That shows that I'm a hard worker, that I'm smart, that I've done things right. Whereas the reality is God provides what we have. And when we start to think about money as something that God gives to me, then it's a lot easier to let go of it.
That's a great way to look at it. I kind of see it just slightly different. I think it's along the same path, but money equals anything you want it to be. So if you maybe grew up and you didn't have a lot of money, money is security for you. So it's like, if you have enough money, then you could feel secure in life. If you never were able to, like, if you always wanted something, you feel like that makes you successful. You can have that. Money is power. Having a lot of money can give you influence over people. So it can it can do all of these things that have a lot more potential to be evil.
Right.
Power often leads to abuse of power, and the opposite of trust is relying on yourself, right? Not relying on God. So a lot of those things lead in the other direction.
Right.
So it's not necessarily the money; it's how you use the money or your view of money.
Well, we all want to think of ourselves as self-made people, as independent people. And again, I like to go back to Genesis 3 because I think all of the world's lies start there. And one of the things that the serpent said to Eve was, "You will be like God." That is so appealing to us, to be like God, because what that means is I can take care of myself. I'm a self-made man. And if I have enough money, then I feel like I'm a self-made man because I feel like I did this for myself.
Yeah.
Unless you won the lottery or something.
Right. And we talked about, you and I talked a little bit.
I bought the lotto ticket, so it's all me.
Well, we talked about this a little bit last week, but we are going into the most thankful time of the year, but we're also heading into the most consumeristic time of year. And those two things are a very much juxtaposition of what we should be actually doing. So how much do you think the role of advertisement and societal pressures plays into this view of our money?
A lot.
Yeah.
But I don't want to be naive. Yeah. This has been true since Jesus' time, and they certainly didn't have the same kind of marketing and whatnot back then. So I think it is just part of the human condition. Yeah. And I guess since you brought it up, I'll just say this. I think there's a good way to approach this time of year. Obviously I'm a big fan of gratitude. I also understand that, Black Friday and everything that surrounds it is actually a good time to buy stuff. Yeah. Because that's good stewardship. If there's stuff you need, and you have the means to get it, and you can get it for a lot less. Hey, check this out. Here's a challenge for everybody. Everything you buy on Black Friday, total up how much you saved, and give that to More Than Able. Oh yeah. So anyways, what I was going to say is, so we actually have already started on the Black Friday sales. We needed to get a new washer. We needed to get a new dryer. Yeah. And we needed to get a new refrigerator. And, for us, we don't have, money doesn't grow on trees for pastors. So, we saved up for this. We had the money waiting. It was like, okay, so we got the money. Now let's find the right time. And so we can go out and be consumeristic and buy these things that we need. We got them for a good price. So good stewardship. But then also there's a sense when those things are delivered, that is a wonderful time for me to have gratitude. And, say, I'm really thankful that I live in a time when we have washing machines and drying machines and refrigerators. I'm really thankful that I live in a place where we can easily get these. And I'm so grateful that God has provided the means for us to purchase these and, not have to go into debt to do that. I think that's all really important. So I think that's the whole More Than Able thing. That's not really true unless you want it to be.
I mean, it'd be great if
you can do it, but
we will be very grateful for you.
My bigger point is, as you head into the Black Friday season and you buy all this stuff, interject that purchasing with gratitude and be a good steward. Don't buy stuff you don't need.
Yeah.
Yeah, and this isn't spiritual, but just because it says it's on sale doesn't mean it's actually on sale.
What?
Just do your research, and because often what it is, it's a slightly cheaper price than the real thing, but it's not the same thing actually. Yeah. And then the other thing to watch out for is they'll slowly do this price creep where they artificially inflate the price and then drop it by 20%, but it's the same price it was 2 months ago.
Yeah, but Costco doesn't do that.
They don't.
They don't.
No,
I don't go to Costco.
Just go to Costco. Yeah.
So let's say I take this advice to heart, and Christmas time, there's a lot of pressure to buy gifts for people. If you chose to just say, hey, I'm not going to give in to the temptation of buying useless things for people, can that damage some of your relationships, though, if you are buying into this concept of I'm not just going to frivolously buy things?
I think it depends on how you do it.
Okay.
right? If you like do this holier than thou of, I'm going to help cure all of
human
you of
fund?
your consumerism by, only giving you socks and underwear. Maybe not, but
Do any of you ever receive something that's like one of those trinkets or whatever that someone just picked up, and like the thing itself makes you feel like your life is better? It's really just that fact that person thought of you. Often is the thing. It's not ever like the actual object. And so I wonder if there's a way for us to get to a place in our culture and society where it's like, you don't have to buy me the thing. Just shoot me a text that you're thinking of me. Like that has the same
That would be
feeling for
nice.
me. But
yeah, I don't know. I used to beg my family to do this, my extended family, that I said, instead of doing this whole big gift exchange and blah, 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 why don't we all just like go to the mall and we'll all give each other gift cards to a store we think that person would like, and then we just all go shopping together, and we get the joy of watching the person buy the thing they want, but we picked the store, right? So, I mean, everybody's obviously, for me, they're going to give me gift cards to Dick's Sporting Goods. And, for
What do you think, Jalen? Good idea, bad idea?
I think that sounds like a whole bunch of people running around wild in a mall.
but you do it, but you do it together.
Bunch of ravenous like monkeys or something.
Well, so you know my family.
David's family.
We met them.
A bunch of ravenous monkeys.
There's some there is some truth there.
I know my family,
Yes,
and I
yeah.
know,
Yeah. But anyways,
I like the
Yes.
idea.
it gives a more relational aspect to it. It sounds
hate-
more practical too.
It's one of the things I hate around the holiday season is like when people will often like give you a gift and it's something that you like can't use, and you like, I don't want to say anything. I want it like, so you accept it graciously, but then you're like, I don't know what to do with it because I can't regift it because
How long do I have to keep this
how
before
long
I take it to Goodwill?
Exactly. There's
Or
stuff
can I
like
just
that.
go take it to an out? Oh, sorry, not Goodwill. I know.
Can a gift card
Can I
whatever,
take it to an out-of-state Goodwill?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
All right, continue on. That was only the first question, but I
Oh,
think
goodness.
we can get through these here. I really like this question a lot, which is, can someone be a Christian and never give any money to the church?
Well, if you like the question so much, why don't you go first?
So my first thought is yes, right? Possible, yeah. But I would say from some of the examples from the gospel, no. Like, it's part of, like, there has to be fruit in your life, and part of that is trusting God and giving back to God. Like, it in Old Testament is actually commanded to do those things, right? We're called to make sacrifices. That was very much part of the ritualistic lifestyle of being Jewish, was making sacrifices regularly. So I would think that yeah, but ultimately it's the heart behind it, I think, is what God cares about. So could you not give money? Yeah, but you got to give something.
So your answer is a firm yes, but no.
So like,
Right.
it comes back to the heart of it, right?
Yeah.
If and there's a parable, the widow's mite, right? She had very little to give, but she gave what she had, and it seemed insignificant what she had, but it was about her attitude and her heart that approached that.
But she still gave.
But she still gave.
So in that case, because I thought of that.
So
but
I would challenge this question. The answer is, can you be a Christian without having given? That is not a requirement for salvation. In Jesus, like what He did was sufficient for you. But if your attitude is, I'm just going to squeak by with like the bare minimum participation in church and all that, I want to challenge that attitude and say, I would really question whether or not you've given your life to Jesus. And it's not because you're not giving to the church. It's the attitude that says, I'm just going to do the bare minimum I have to get to heaven. I don't know that that's really what God wants for you.
But here's the thing. God doesn't need your money. And two is that there could be circumstances that actually is legitimate why it doesn't make financial sense for you to give money. Let's say you have major health problems and like all of your money is going to your health expenses. It may not be a good idea for you to.
You couldn't give like $5.
Well, I'm saying, maybe.
No, I'm just challenging
you
the.
can.
I think
You can. I'm just saying there could be other reasons where, for a time, it may not make sense for you to.
I mean, and there are seasons because a tithe is, the idea is like a tenth of your income. There are seasons where people don't have income.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's maybe the better way to
example
say it is to
you're,
say you
you're
just
laid
don't
off.
have money.
You don't have money. You're literally.
Yeah, and so we don't want you to go broke giving to the church.
You shouldn't go broke.
You shouldn't go broke giving.
That's not wise.
But also. There are so many more ways than financially to give to the church.
I want to push back a little
let's
bit.
hear the
I
push-
think,
I wanna- I'm
no,
open
because
to this side.
I think there's a nuance here
Yeah.
that we have to acknowledge. So when we say you shouldn't go broke giving to the church, I would tweak that a little bit and say if you're broke, you can't give to the church.
Right. Yeah. Okay. That's
Yeah.
a better way to say it.
But if you're not broke,
Yeah.
isn't there something you can give?
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I think we're talking about a very, very small fraction of the
let me
population
just say this is a theoretical conversation for sure,
completely
because
theoretical,
my heart is always I do not want to pressure people to give. I don't want to manipulate people. I don't want to try to convince someone to give. That's not what I want to do. But I think, like, just speaking at a theological level, it's sometimes important for us to recognize these small details. And I think this is one where, no, we don't want somebody to give if they're broke because they don't have anything to give.
But it's a part of being spiritually mature is that you give back, right?
Well, and it's part of the sacrificial Christian life.
It's trust.
It's trust, and not just financially, but everything that God calls you to requires some sacrifice, and you take the step, and it's scary, and it's hard, and you don't know how you're going to do it, and then the Lord provides, and He partners, and I'm trying to remember all your P words. He prospers, and He works through that faith that you expressed.
Provides, prospers,
partners.
There's one more.
Prepares.
You
know, and so I think that's everything from serving to tithing to just how you're changing habits and all that stuff. It requires you to do something sacrificial, to do something that is challenging. We're told to take up our cross and follow Him, and that's all aspects of our life, including finances.
Yeah. So I think we're talking about we're specifically talking about, can someone be a Christian and never give any money to the church?
Right. So the question really is a salvation question. We've spent most of our time talking about actually living out the Christian life.
Right.
So it's important to say, hey, there's two pieces to this. The first piece is, how does somebody get saved? And the reality is Jesus saves us.
Yeah.
Right.
Money's not involved.
Has nothing to do with what we do. And so because our salvation has nothing to do with what we do, keeping our salvation has nothing to do with what we do. So Jesus saves us, Jesus keeps us. That's the theological reality. That said, the Christian life, once we give our life to Jesus, is a life of progressive growth. That's why in Hebrews, Paul says to the Christians there, hey, you guys are still drinking milk when you should be eating meat. Right? And you guys are missing out. You're not growing at the rate you should be growing. You're not bearing fruit at the degree you should be bearing fruit. Jesus Himself said, you know a good tree by their good fruit. So we ought to be bearing fruit. This is not where we look at each other and say, you're not bearing fruit, you must not be a Christian. This is where we say, I look at myself and say, am I bearing the fruit that demonstrates I'm submitted to Jesus? And if my life's not bearing fruit, which means I'm not being more generous, right? If my life's not bearing more fruit, then I need to ask myself the question, am I not submitting my life fully to Jesus? And what parts of my life are not fully submitted? And I need to submit that to Him. So
that's exactly what Becca and I went through when we started tithing. We had just gotten married, and we just kind of sat down, and it wasn't even a financial conversation. It was a spiritual conversation. And it was, we just didn't feel like we were using our money in the right way, and it was more than just tithing, but we said one of the things we're not doing that we feel convicted that we should do is tithe, but it started out of a spiritual place, not out of a, can I do this or will I be judged if I don't do this? And, how much do I give? That wasn't the question. The question was, is this something we ought to be doing as people who are following Jesus? We felt, we prayed a lot about it, and we felt we were led to do that. And so I would say start with the spiritual before you even, don't get caught up in the details and all that first.
So here, I know this probably wasn't meant by the question, but you did talk about it on Sunday a little bit, which was, you don't have to give to the church. You can give somewhere else. And you talked about a few organizations that you support. So is that kind of the same thing if you give to a missionary, if you give to a Christian organization that's doing really good things in our community? Is that the same concept as giving to the church?
Yes. So I'd say this: the place where you're giving isn't what's important. It's the idea that I'm sacrificing for the kingdom of God.
I think that's a good
So
statement.
the very first offering in the Bible, in the church era, not in the Old Testament, but in the church era, was not necessarily given to a church. It was multiple churches that were pooling their resources to support the Jerusalem church, the Christians in Jerusalem. And so I think, yes, me choosing to sacrifice for the good of the kingdom of God, that's the point.
Whatever happened to like the meat offerings? We don't get those.
Hey, why is no
anymore.
one bringing me a brisket?
What's
Yeah, that kind of went out with the temple.
Yeah.
so
So you can
No one's
either
dropping
give to
meat
more than
off
able,
for us, though.
or you can bring us brisket.
understand
Bacon would work, too.
I'll
Understand
take
though
bacon.
that the meat offerings, like you had to actually sacrifice the animal,
Yeah.
right? That's
but that's okay. You
are we
know,
gonna make an altar out back where Steve's like
see.
sacrificing all day?
The altar will be a smoker out
We
back.
need to stop having the podcast before we go
It's
to
not-
lunch.
It's not, you have to cut it up first. You have to kill it first.
I have to physically kill it. Okay.
The priests got the meat offering, but first they
it
had
came as a live animal.
Yeah.
And then you cut
They
a piece
walked
of
it
it off.
in.
Okay.
well, they didn't cut a piece.
You want a leg?
Well, I mean, after it's dead, I'm not saying while it's still alive, but
right?
you know.
They had to get
you
it
guys-
out. They had to slit its throat and get
Do you remember when Dwight created an invention to get a burger out of a horse? Do you remember that? But
don't
the
remember
horse
that.
still lived.
But I
That
do
must have been
remember
the later
I
years.
remember the alarm clock
was The
that
Office.
started the bacon at the end of Michael Scott's bed.
And he burnt his foot.
Yeah.
Okay, last question here. All right. So, what would you say to someone who is thinking that they should give, but they're reluctant to do it? Right?
Right.
What
Yeah.
would you say to someone like that if you had an opportunity to talk to them?
So, this is a softball, right? Because
Yeah.
we finished the sermon on Sunday with the verse from 2 Corinthians 9 that says, "Do not give if you're reluctant." And so that would be my starting point.
Yeah.
I say if you're not sure, then you're not ready.
But
But that does-
unsure means that you haven't made up your mind.
Correct.
Right? So could you be unsure of like you're still contemplating it like you probably have enough information, you just need to pull the trigger.
maybe. I mean,
Okay.
There is this
So what
place
is
where-
reluctant then? What do you interpret as a reluctant then?
like
What does
somebody
that mean
says,
to you?
I'm just not.
Like your heart's not there yet, or
I'm not comfortable with this yet.
Okay.
Maybe my heart's not there. Maybe I'm married and the two of us have vastly different ideas about what we should give. We haven't been able to come together. So, but I would say this to anybody who feels reluctant. So number one, as long as you're reluctant, you're not ready.
Yeah.
That's okay.
Yeah.
You know what? If November 24th comes and goes and you're not ready, that's okay. Maybe you're not even going to jump into this campaign for a year. That's okay. Number two, if you're reluctant, then you're not ready. So what you should be doing is you should be continuing to pray.
Yeah.
You should be continuing to process. Oh, man, can I do this? And you should continue to. I need a group word for P, like talk to others.
People.
People.
Partner.
Yeah. No. You should be thinking about it. You should be praying about it, and you should be talking to others about it. Like find someone that you trust.
Yeah.
So,
but unless you're like totally out of work or you have some major life situation, I feel like everyone could give like $10 or something. Like, so I'm not saying like regular giving. I'm saying anyone who hasn't could. So like, why is it the hesitancy because you have to get your heart? It's about the heart. Is that what we're saying here?
yeah. So there will be some people. Now the reality is in a campaign like this that most of the commitments come from people who are already giving.
Yeah.
But there will be some people that this is new to them.
Yeah.
This whole idea of, giving a regular gift to God is new, and they need to process that. What I'm actually doing here is I'm making a commitment to God that I'm going to, give away money that I've never given away before. Yep. And so, maybe I'm giving away a trip to Starbucks. I paid $5 for a drink at Starbucks. It was for Mary Ann, and she drinks these frou-frou drinks. $5 and then some, and they want a tip.
Yep.
We need to do a whole podcast on tipping.
We should.
I'm going to start putting an app on my phone, and people come up to me and say, "Hey, I really like that sermon." Sorry. All right, I think we're good.
Okay. Well,
Yeah. So if you're reluctant, you're not ready, but that's okay. But don't quit.
yeah.
Right.
Can I add one thing
Yeah.
too? Is I think there are people who, you're not reluctant because your heart is undecided yet. You know that God is calling you to do this, And your prayer needs to be for faith and boldness,
Yeah.
because your heart is ready. You have felt the conviction of the Holy Spirit in this area. You know this is something you're supposed to do, but it's just scary to start sometimes. And so, for you, just ask the Holy Spirit to fill you up with a boldness and the confidence. And then I love what you always tell people: start small. Just say, okay, what can I do this week? And just watch how God uses that small step to grow your faith.
Right. Yeah, and it's like you just said. Some people maybe like they're right there. They just need that motivation to take that step.
I know there's got to be people that are in that boat of it's like, what are you waiting for? You know, like you've been here. You obviously this is your church home. You come here. You take part in it. Just take that leap of faith. Just you got to start somewhere. Just start and see what God does. That's like, when you do the $10 challenge thing, like just start with that. Like see what God provides for you and then take the next step. Like that's an easy, very, very easy. You're not going to miss it.
And I hope that it's clear in this conversation is that we don't want you to tithe because it's good for us. Like we're fine. Like the church is
Right.
super healthy, super steady. No real financial concerns. Tithing is for you. It is for you to grow in your faith. And I think that's really the heart behind it is we want you to participate in the church and grow in your faith in that way. And so it's, this is just one really great way to do that.
Right. Nobody in this room is on commission. Right. None of us get more money if more people give.
I get tips sometimes. Like I always have my hat at the...
Your guitar case.
That's why you wear a hat in church.
Yeah,
guitar
money,
case
please.
open. All right. Well, thanks for hanging out with us on the Gathering Greenhouse.
Wait, do you have it?
So keep it real, keep it rooted, and we'll catch you next time.
Wait, do that
Have an awesome
again.
week.
Do that again.
Is that a new one?
That was a new one.
No, you guys didn't notice.
No,
that.
do it.
Okay.
Do the whole thing.
Thanks for hanging out with us on the Gathering Greenhouse. Until next time, keep it real, keep it rooted, and we'll catch you next week.
I like that one.
Pretty good.
Keep it
Pretty
real,
good.
keep it rooted.
Yeah.
I like that.
Nice.
Did you make that or Chat GPT?
I made that one.
Okay.
Nice. Good job.
Keep it real, keep it rooted.
I thought I said that one. Maybe I didn't get to that one.
I think it's going to be a shirt we make. Keep it real, keep it rooted.